What's up, guys? It's Coach Tay Watley, and guess what? You're in for a real treat. This is a head roller. It's a head roller because we're about to get down and funky about your credit, honey. Let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to get to the next level of your life but couldn't because of bad credit? Okay, if that's you, this video is for you today because I'm giving you all the tips that I use, the secrets, okay, to accelerate yourself into good credit. Sure, you put away all your distractions, okay? If the baby is crying, if boo thing is ringing you up, say, hey, listen, Coach Tay on right now.
Hello? Yeah, Coach Tay on right now. We can't talk right now. Okay, I'm gonna call you back later. All right, bye.
The reason why is because you're gonna need some pen, you're gonna need a paper, and we need to tackle this because I'm gonna share with you all the all the tips, okay, that allowed me to boost my score, and it was 198 points. Now I'm telling you because I really honestly wish someone told me a long time ago, but I'm gonna share it with you so that way you can better yourself and better your household, which betters our community.
What's the tips, Coach Tay? Get to the point. Okay, I got you.
Telling you guys, you would be so surprised of how many people have never, ever checked their credit. So the first thing that you want to do is go to annualcreditreport.com and download, once you put in your information, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Yes, you heard it correctly. You need to download all three reports, save it to your computer, and remember this date, because this is a date that's going to change your life. You will never, ever be in this situation again, okay, after today. Next thing that you need to do is review the accounts, okay? So you literally need to look at all the open accounts and take inventory of what they are. Write the balances down of what is owed on each of those accounts. And then in addition to it, look at all three scores. Do the scores match? Is the information the same on the scores? Are there inaccuracies? You would be surprised how many people would have items on their credit report that don't even belong to them. These items will need to be disputed, but if you do not go to your credit report, you do not download it, then you will not know. You're going to be looking for late payments. You're going to be looking to make sure your address and your name matches on all of those. That is you, okay? And also wrong reporting. So let me say this. On all three of the credit bureau, you want to circle any lates, any charge-offs, any negative reporting, and then go match it up with the next report. So if you do that on Experian, then the next one go to do it on Equifax, the next one do it on TransUnion. The reason being is because we're looking for consistency and that the information is the same. Guys, so I did this, and the next step that I tried is to do it myself. And I know everybody want to do it themselves. And I got something for you if you want to do it for yourself. But I'm going to have to be honest on this. I don't necessarily want to say I was lazy. I will say that I did not necessarily have the time. I am the type of mom that is doing Acing Autism with my son. I am going to band camp with my daughter. I am the chaperone of the year, okay? But you know what? You gotta have a good balance. And so for me to do it yourself, I started out doing it that way, and I literally increased my credit score 36 points. It's now, hold on. It's not because it didn't work. It's because I really honestly wasn't consistent with those letters. These letters are sections in the Fair Credit Reporting Act that protect you, okay, as a consumer to accurate reporting, and that the lender must validate any reporting that is negative or adversely may affect you. I found a company that was able to help me, okay, with a multitude of financial services for $79.97, which I found was actually a little bit easier than sending in these letters. Now, if you have the time, the ability, you're able to track it, go for it. If not, and you're like me, there's always an alternate route. So I just paid the service for MWR Financial. I have their information in the description. The only thing I had to do was upload my ID and all three credit reports. Anytime that a credit card company came or was lifted off of my credit report, or they responded to the letters that was being sent to that company, All I had to do was upload that letter into the portal, and then they would respond with another letter until literally it was removed. I've seen people's repossessions removed this way. You don't have to do it this way, but I just did it this way because I'm just such an active mom, and I love what I do. I love my kids, I love my family, and I just wanted to be able to have peace of mind of both fixing my credit and my family and being involved. Two of the most biggest things that are on your credit report is utilization and payment history. So what I wanted to do was knock out that debt while building my payment history and my credit and lowering my utilization. My utilization was so freaking high. It was like over 50%. It was astronomical. I was basically using all my credit. It probably was like, if it could be 101%, it probably would have been. So what I went ahead and did was that I wrote all my credits from lowest to highest on a sheet of paper. And then I wrote the total amount of debt. My goal, and I know it doesn't really go with the mainstream, but it really honestly did help me. I wrote down all my debt, and then I said, okay, my first goal was going to be to get my utilization down to 75%, and I wrote that number, what that was. I paid my items lowest to highest, okay? So the higher payments, I just paid the bare minimum, and the lower amount, I paid all my excess money would go to that account. And once I got that down to 75%, my next goal was 50%. My goal after that was 30%. And then currently right now, I just use about 15% of my lines of credit. And to be honest with you guys, that really, really helped me. I got to pay off my debt. I got to see the items being resolved, but I didn't lose all of my payment history at the same time. With my student loans, I actually paid them all off, and I really wish that I did not, looking back, paid them all off in the fashion that I did, because I could have still used the age of the account for your credit history. Because once it was paid off, it was just, it's done. It's off of the account. But I had years of credit history that was now closed off, and it looked like I had new credit when honestly, that wasn't the case. So it's best to utilize what I'm saying now, to just go ahead based upon a utilization, pay the lowest amount and going up. So that way you don't lose the payment history for your older credit that could really be a benefit to you while you're trying to rebuild it. Now, after you've looked over your credit report, you know the amounts that are owed, you're disputing the items, right? Once that process has been completed, the next order of business is to start settling. Now, some of these items are not going to come off your credit report because they're honestly valid. So if those credits, if those are the accounts that you have on there, then you want to go ahead and contact the lender to settle these accounts. So when you call, when you're calling the lender, right? The first thing that you want to know is it with a collection agency? The one reason why you want to know if it's with a collection agency is because if it is with a collection agency, they pay pennies on a dollar. So that way you're going to get a great deal on a settlement. Now, you don't want to settle on an account that has been more than close to the 7-year range. So your focus is to settle on items that are 2 years or less. If you try to go back and resettle this particular account, it's going to reopen the age of credit. So whereas that account would have been nearing the 7th year or nearing the 6th year, now that you went ahead and paid that account, now you got to start from ground zero because you made the payment. Don't do that. So if you're near 5-6 years, just hustle and bustle it through. I mean, to be honest with you, because try your dispute letters and to get it off that way, and then move forward with your life. Do not pay those types of collections because they will just renew the age of the account, and then they will be able to start pursuing you again for the credit because you reopened it. Okay. Another thing is when you call in the credit agencies, you are going to let them know that you are not validating that you owe this debt. you are simply calling for information. The reason why you want to say that is because you're not acknowledging that this is your debt. Why? Is because you're in a dispute process. So if you say,
well, this is my debt and how much do I owe?
How much do I owe? Now you done put the responsibility that this was your debt by your own words. And just how they are recording their calls, you might want to get your own recorder. The next thing that you want to know is how many days past due, because you're going to have a different conversation if you're 90 days past due versus if your account is charged off in 504 days past due. It's a whole different conversation. Your account may not even be with the same lender. It might actually be with the collection agency. Now that you got the information, what they're able to settle on, and you got the agent's name, and you got the date, and you got the time, then you're going to ask them, are they able to do a pay for delete? Now, if they are able to do a pay for delete, which is normally the collection agency, right? Then great, go forward. Ask them if they can send you a confirmation email with this advice, of this letter, so that way you can move forward with the process. Now, if the company, because sometimes the actual finance companies need for you to put it in writing, they're not going to tell you that. I'm telling you that. Go ahead and say, if they say by phone they're not able to do a pay for delete, don't you dare pay them. Review a pay for delete letter. Take a little couple of blurbs, like we had said before, out of there and move forward. Don't send a generic letter. Customize the letter to you and your circumstance, and understand that humans are reading these letters, not robots. Don't be rejected automatically. So if they can't pay for delete over the phone, then what you're going to do is basically say,
oh, okay, well, thank you for the information. I'm really looking forward to pay for delete. Can you provide me your credit dispute address?
And once they provide you your credit dispute address, once they give you the information, go ahead and get on your computer, write your letter, print it out, mail it, stick a stamp on it, and call it a day. The next thing that I did to increase my credit score, almost 200 points, was I got a secure credit card. And when I tell you my credit was bad.
My credit was so bad, y'all. It even said bad. It was like, you know what? Don't even swipe me. Like, if the card could talk, it'd be like, don't even swipe me.
Okay, so no one wanted to give me any type of line of credit or anything like that. So I found Self. I have a video about Self, love Self. So I can put that information in the description box. So check out my Self video, and I'll explain about that program and how it works. After I did, because that was the only company for me, I was tired. Have you ever just got tired of being rejected? Like, I was just tired of going to the bank, and it was just like, no, credit union, no. Unknown banks just online trying to get credit, no. It's like, okay, you know what? Let me take a sip of water on that. I'm done. Okay, so I had to do the Self way, and they didn't reject me. I felt good. It was like, for real, I'm approved. And it kind of felt good when you're approved. You're like, oh, for real? Okay. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to say is, after Self credit card, I got me two unsecured credit cards, because basically I was able to show that I was being able to be responsible with money that was currently mine, and with lenders. Like, you just got to rebuild from where you are. So don't feel like, I'm alone in this, or I don't make enough money or anything like that. It's not about the amount of money you make. It is about how do you manage the money that you have. So keep that in perspective. Keeping up the spirit. Rent reporting. Guys, did you know? Just like with mortgages, right? And they're reporting if you paid on time, that there's actually rent reporting companies that will report to the 3 credit bureau reporting agencies. I really wish somebody would have told me this, because no one did. And then when I found it out after the fact, I was just like, what? I could have been doing this the whole time. So do your homework, do your research, but do know that there are rent reporting agencies. Talk to your landlord and see if they would be open to doing it. If they are, bam, now you got another way to report your credit. The next thing that I did was I cut the cheese. Okay, so when I mean cut the cheese, I mean just cutting out any outside money that is more of a want than a need. Okay, so guys, I really have this big obsession with my nails. If you can see, boop. Okay, I love my nails. Don't they look pretty? Y'all, these nails used to cost me like $40 every 2 weeks. Like, no lie. So when I say cut the cheese, I had to cut out my nails. It was really more of a want than a need. Now, I ain't gonna cut it all the way out, okay? So I really probably should say slice the cheese, okay? Because what I did was I got these little things. It's called, look fellas, if your wife loves to get her nails done, you might want to tell her this too. Or ladies that's out there, it's called Impress. Y'all, I just press these on. I do. It's all done. And I saved myself money. Oh, whoa! That went towards my debt. So $40 every 2 weeks. Well, $40 a year is $480, right? But I can be obsessive with these nails, right? I used to like to get them done every 2 weeks. So $80 was about $960 a year just for the manicure. We ain't even including the pedicure. So right there, I was able to wipe out more of my debt. Now, you may not be a nail fanatic like I am, but I have friends that love coffee. Matter of fact, they love Starbucks coffee. Matter of fact, they will go every single day to Starbucks coffee. And so when we were having this conversation, when I was like,
let me help you out, friend. That's what friends do.
So what they did was they started purchasing the roasted beans and grinding it themselves. Or they had, I'm not really a coffee person, but they had it already grounded coffee too. But they were able to save their money that way instead of going to Starbucks, because it was like literally expensive. It was like $5 a pop and like twice a day. They're obsessive, I know. It's okay. So anyway, friend, you know who you are. I love you. I promise you guys, once you see how much debt that you're eliminating, you're gonna be like,
oh, it's so much fun. It's like a little game.
so you're just like in a competition of clearing the debt. And so you gotta make it fun and entertaining for you, because you know that at the end result of the game, like getting this debt right, is the car, is the house, is the ability to have a line of credit and of additional sources of money, right? Other than your own. And you are showing other financial lenders that you are a responsible party. Life happened to you, but you can't stick there. You have to get back up. So the next thing I did was I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to myself. Okay. So this letter entailed all the goodies and juices. Okay. Guys, I get kind of emotional. I have to be honest with you. I get kind of emotional thinking about this daggone letter, because it might sound weird, but I do write letters to myself. But this letter, like a couple of years ago, when I had to just get something done with my credit. The reason being is because I am a single mom, but I used to be a housewife. I just loved my little home. I love cooking. I didn't necessarily love cleaning, but I would clean. But I was just so comfortable. I was happy, had my little life. And then life happened, okay? And I did not have that comfort anymore. So it came to the point where things that I had to worry about, things I didn't used to have to worry about, then all of a sudden it became like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get it? What am I going to do? Like everything, especially with the kids. So my ex-husband literally, he's no longer in the picture, abandoned us. And when I tell you I had to start from ground zero, I had to start from ground zero. And I wrote myself a letter because of this day. The day was like, I was looking at my bank account and I was like, oh, this is not going to hit it. So I had to get mason jars that were filled with coins. My Coke bottle that had like a whole bunch of coins in it. Like all the coins in the house, we literally got them and put it in a large purse. But then I was like, you know what? I'm never going to freaking be like this anymore. Like I refuse to be like in this situation ever again. Ever in freaking life. Never, ever again. So, from that day, I looked at that letter and I was like, I'm never going to be like this ever again. I'm never going to be standing at Walmart not having anything to be able to pay for my kids that didn't ask to be here, clothes and their uniforms and their books and their like agenda paper, whatever it is that they need. I'm going to make a way to ensure that this will never ever happen again. And so that's what I did. And then when I feel like in life that I have times where I just can't make it or things didn't go my way, I literally will pick up that letter, and I will not be, showcasing or stating it today because it will bring me to tears. But what I will do is I will go back to the letter and I will remember how far God brought me from, and that there is nothing that is able to stop me at this time. And that's the same thing that you have to feel about your situation right now. This is just one step, okay, to the top of the mountain. It's just one thing that may have knocked you back, or a couple of things. Who cares? At this point, just know from today going forward, it will never ever be the same. And then the final thing that you have to do is follow up. So how I follow up is with my credit union. They have a budget tool that I can place how much for all my expenses I intend on paying for the month. If for any reason that I go over that budget, they will send me a kind text telling me that I had a large expense that went over my budget. And so that's how I follow up and keep myself accountable. Also, I keep myself accountable with people that are like-minded, right? This is why it's so important for you to write your comments, for you to tell your story, for you to share the information. If this is speaking to you, you need to be writing the comment down. Not only does it like motivate me to keep on sharing my story and to be able to help, but it also motivates other people to hear your story, to be like, gosh, I'm not alone. Thank you. Or sharing information that can help others. That's how we all win. But yeah, so make sure that you comment below like how you have been in this process. And while we're talking about the process, trust the process. Know that this is taking time. Know that this will not just maybe magically disappear in 30 days. It may take 60, it may take 90, but as long as you're making steps to reach your goal and you're doing it with action, then kudos to you. Kudos to you. So guys, make sure that you like and subscribe this video. I appreciate you taking all the time that you did. I know this was very in-depth. That's why I told you to take your notes. So that way we could go over this together. And I hope that this helps you. If it does, please let me know. If you know any other tips, please drop them below. And do not forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.